Some people were never designed to fit the mold. You feel it in the quiet moments, the way you walk into a room and energy shifts, the way eyes linger just a second too long, the way people say, "There's something about you," and then trail off. You're not crazy, you're not arrogant, you're chosen. And being chosen means you're set apart, not by the world, but by something deeper, divine, spiritual, unshakable. Today, we're going to talk about the weight and wonder of that identity. We're going to explore how people react when they sense your difference, even if they can't name it. If you've ever felt deeply seen and yet profoundly misunderstood, this message is for you. There's a reason you've been through more. There's a reason you notice more. You're not here to be normal, you're here to illuminate. But that illumination comes with a cost. People will admire you, fear you, envy you, try to imitate you, and sometimes reject you entirely. And none of that is really about you, it's about what your presence awakens in them. So before we begin, take a moment. If you've ever been the person who felt too much, too intense, too real, drop a 77 in the comments right now. That's our sign, our signal, our collective agreement that we see each other in this space. And if you feel led, hit that super thanks button. It's one way to show support for content that nourishes your soul and helps this message reach others just like you. Now let's begin. The aura they can't explain but can't ignore. There's a presence you carry that enters the room before you do. It's not loud, it's not performative, it's not even intentional, but it's undeniable. It's in your stillness, your integrity, the way you listen without needing to reply, the way you carry a quiet authority even when you say nothing at all. People feel it long before they understand it. They pause, they stare. They sometimes shrink because they feel seen by you. And it's not because you're trying to expose them, it's just that your authenticity makes them question their masks. Your calmness disturbs their chaos. Your clarity unsettles their confusion. You don't even have to say much. Sometimes, it's just the way you enter a space that makes people readjust themselves, as if they've suddenly become aware of how they're showing up. You didn't do anything, you just are. And that being, that frequency you carry, becomes a spiritual mirror that few are ready to face. It's hard, isn't it? Being both deeply respected and quietly resented. Being invited in but never fully embraced. People don't know whether to love you or fear you, so they do both. And you feel that tension in every interaction. But I need you to understand something right now. Your presence is not a problem to be fixed. It's a purpose to be fulfilled. The shadows you accidentally illuminate. Chosen ones rarely have to speak to stir discomfort. Simply existing at your frequency reveals things in others they weren't ready to confront. It's not because you're better than anyone, it's because you're aligned with something they haven't met in themselves yet. And that alignment casts a light. That light exposes shadows. Your kindness makes people question their cynicism. Your forgiveness reminds them of their bitterness. Your faith challenges their doubt. You become the embodiment of what they were told didn't exist anymore. Integrity, honesty, purity of heart. And that makes you dangerous, not in what you do, but in what you reflect. You've probably seen it before. A friend begins to pull away. They say nothing's wrong, but something in their energy has shifted. You start to hear subtle sarcasm, little jokes with sharp undertones. Why? Because your light is shining on places they've buried. And that hurts. But hear me, this isn't your fault. You are not responsible for the discomfort your growth brings to others. You didn't come to this life to dim yourself so others could stay asleep. You came to awaken, not by preaching, not by arguing, but simply by walking in alignment with what is true. And when you do that, others must choose, rise with you or step away. So when people react to you with distance, suspicion, or passive aggression, breathe. It's not personal. It's spiritual. Envy, fascination, and the masked reactions. Not all reactions are honest. Some are deeply layered. Some come dressed as admiration but are rooted in envy. Some come wrapped in curiosity but drip with comparison. When you're chosen, people will study you not just to understand you, but sometimes to decode how you became you. They'll ask questions. How do you stay so calm? Why does everything work out for you? What's your secret? And while some genuinely want to grow, others just want the formula without the faith. They want your light without your labor. They want your essence without your evolution. Be careful with these energies. Not everyone clapping is celebrating. Not everyone listening is loyal. Some are taking notes to mimic, not to learn. Some want proximity to your power without the patience it took to build it. And then there are the ones who say nothing at all but watch everything. Their silence is strategic. Their smile is performance. Deep down, they feel threatened, not because you harmed them, but because your existence makes them feel small. And instead of healing, they project. You must learn to see these masked reactions for what they are, tests, not truths. They are not evidence that you're arrogant or too much. They are proof that your presence disrupts the illusion of mediocrity. You remind people that settling isn't the only option. And for those still attached to average, you'll feel like an assault. But don't shrink. Don't defend, don't dilute. Let their discomfort be their invitation to rise or their decision to retreat. Either way, you stay in your lane and keep shining. You are a mirror, not a threat. It's easy to internalize rejection, to think that others pull away because there's something wrong with you. But the truth is, when you carry light, you naturally reveal what's hidden. You don't even have to try. Just by being authentic, you reflect back what others have tried to suppress, their dreams, their shame, their unhealed wounds. You didn't sign up to be a mirror, but that's what you are. And people don't always like their reflection. Some will admire you because you show them what's possible. Others will avoid you because you remind them of what they've abandoned. This is not pride, this is reality. The key is to stop taking it personally. They're not reacting to your soul, they're reacting to their own silence, stirred by your voice. Your strength doesn't threaten them, their own lack of alignment does. Your light didn't expose them, it simply revealed what was already there. So when someone accuses you of thinking you're better, know that it's often projection. What they're really saying is, I don't know how to handle who I become around you. And that's not your battle. You are not here to fix people's perception of you, you're here to remain faithful to the truth you carry. Let go of the need to be liked. Let go of the pressure to shrink so others can feel tall. A mirror doesn't apologize for the image it reflects. It just stands, clear, honest, unmoving. Don't dim, learn to shield. There's a sacred difference between hiding your light and protecting your peace. You were not made to dim, but you were made to discern. Not everyone deserves access to your most luminous spaces. Your energy is not public property. It is a temple, and temples have thresholds. Chosen ones often struggle with boundaries. You want to help, to give, to heal, but in doing so, you forget to protect. And when you don't shield your essence, you invite unnecessary warfare. Drained, confused, spiritually attacked, not because you were weak, but because you were unguarded. It's time to stop being emotionally available to every whisper of need. You are not selfish for saying no. You are not cruel for walking away. You are simply choosing preservation over performance. Even Jesus walked away from the crowds to pray. Even he said no. That's not withdrawal, that's wisdom. So shield yourself. Spiritually, emotionally, relationally. Not out of fear, but out of reverence for the mission you carry. When you protect your light, it shines longer. When you pour from overflow instead of depletion, it reaches further. Learn to recognize when someone wants access to your gift, but not stewardship of your soul. Learn to feel the difference between connection and consumption. One uplifts, the other drains. You are here to serve, not to bleed. Legacy over likability. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Not everyone is going to like you. Not everyone is going to understand you. And if you waste your life chasing applause, you will miss the quiet, sacred path that leads to impact. You weren't chosen to be liked. You were chosen to be effective. You were chosen to shift atmospheres, to break generational cycles, to plant seeds you may never see grow. That kind of life is not always popular. It is not always praised, but it is powerful. Let go of the addiction to approval. You are not here to perform for public opinion. You are here to obey the assignment on your life, even when it costs you comfort. Especially when it costs you comfort. Think of the great changemakers, the prophets, the revolutionaries, the saints. They weren't celebrated in their lifetime. They were ridiculed, rejected, misunderstood, but their legacy, untouchable. eternal, divine. When you walk in truth, you plant in silence and harvest in eternity. The fruit of your obedience may not be seen in headlines, but it will be felt in heaven. Choose that. You are here to leave echoes that last longer than applause. Your light is not an accident. Everything you are, your empathy, your intuition, your vision, your pain, it was all crafted with purpose. You didn't stumble into this light. You were forged in it, through trial, through loss, through solitude. And now you carry a frequency that this world desperately needs. Yes, it will trigger people. Yes, it will attract the wrong ones. Yes, you'll be misunderstood. But none of that invalidates your calling. In fact, it confirms it. The resistance you face is often proof of the radiance you carry. So stand tall, speak kindly, walk boldly. You were not chosen to hide in the crowd. You were chosen to lead with your life, to remind the world that authenticity still exists, that love is still sacred, and that light still breaks through even the darkest places. Use your voice even if it trembles. Use your gift even if it's still evolving. And never forget, you are not here to be worshipped, but to point others to the one who chose you. Let every compliment point upward. Let every attack refine you. Let every encounter be a mirror of grace. You are not perfect, but you are positioned. You are not ordinary, but you are grounded. And most of all, you are not alone. If this message spoke to your spirit, I want you to comment below, "I will not dim, I was made to shine." Your words matter, your voice matters. And if you feel moved to support this content, don't forget to hit the super thanks and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Until next time, chosen one, protect your light, nurture your soul, and walk in the quiet power of knowing what God placed in you, no one can take away.